This is chapter number 11, Buildings, Paintings and Books. Building, Paintings and Books. The time we are discussing at this time, various best known epics, that is called Mahakavya. These are Maha because they are very long, they are grand, they are huge. Still we talk about it. And these Mahakavyas or epics were about the heroism of men and women. Heroism of men and women, and also includes the stories about different gods, deities like Vishnu, Shiva, Kali Mata, Durga Mata. All these are included in these stories. So there was a world of books at this time. If I take you to the southern part of India, there was a very, very great epic. It's called as Silappatikaram. It's a famous Tamil epic, Mahakavya. Silappatikaram, I'm writing it as SM. Now, who composed it? He is called a poet, great poet, Ilango. Silappatikaram written by Ilango. And it was written how many years back? 1800 years back. How many years back? 1800 years back. So, the story, I'll give you a brief. There was a merchant. He was called as Kolan, and he was living in Pohar. And he has a wife. The wife name is Kannagi. So, Kolan and Kannagi are husband-wife. Kolan and Kannagi, husband-wife. So, and they were living in Pohar. Now, Kolan fell in love with a courtesan, Nartaki, dancer, called Madhavi. She is her lover, his lover. Okay. So, wife is Kannagi and lover is Madhavi. Now, what happens? Kolan is actually neglecting his wife Kannagi for his girlfriend or for Madhavi. So now they go to Madurai. He and Kannagi, Kolan. Now when they came to Madurai, the Pandya king, in his court, there was a jeweler. In the Pandya in the king court, there was a jeweler. And he accuses Kolan that Kolan has done theft. He is a thief. So this man who is working in Pandya's king, he accused him of stealing, theft. So now when the king gives the decision, he gives the decision of death to Kolan. So he was given the sentence of death by the Pandya king. And it was very difficult for Kannagi also and Madhavi also. But Madhavi was the wife and she loves Kolan. So she showed all of his anger, grief, because it was an injustice. And she actually ends up destroying whole Madurai. So it's about love, it's about stealing. It's a full of emotion kind of epic. There is one more, Mani Mekhalai. This is also a Tamil epic, Mani Mekhalai. And this was composed by a poet and the Mahakavya writer called Satanar, 1400 years back. 1400 years back. And this story is about what? Kolan and Madhavi, because they were in love and they had a daughter. The story is all about their daughter. This is Satanar. 1400 years back, name is Mani Mekhalai. And this manuscript were lost and we just got it 100 years back, these manuscripts of Mani Mekhalai. We also know about Kalidas, the Indian Shakespeare. We have talked about him, so we'll just continue. At this time, if you talk about Hindu religion or Sanatan Dharma, various religious story, means the story which has a religious angle, religious content, it was being written at this time. Okay, so they were called these stories, the name was given to these stories, the religious stories, as Puran. It was called as Puranas, Puran. And Puran means old. Purana in Hindi means old. It's old. So these old stories, and they consist of what? As I said, it's a religious story. So if you see Srimad Devi Bhagavat, Matsya Mahapuran, Padya Puran, Agni Puran, Shiva Puran, Srimad Bhagavat Puran, like this, Brahma Vaivarta Puran. So the god and goddesses are here in this content, like stories about Vishnu Bhagwan, Shiva Bhagwan, Durga Devi, Parvati Devi. And there's one more thing. In these Purans, it's being written how these gods needs to be worshipped. What is the vidhi? What is the way to worship these gods? And about this, how, actually gods are creator, some are protector, and about the kings also. In these Purans, it's being written. Now these Purans were written in very, very, very simple Sanskrit language. And at that time, because it was all Varna Vyavastha, only the women and Shudras were not allowed. Only the Brahmins and the upper caste were allowed for this kind of literature, even to read, even to hear it. But it was, this Puran can be heard by any women or any lower caste, because we know Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra were last, and that was the situation of women also. But now these Purans can be heard. I will talk about specially two epics, Mahabharata and Ramayana. The 90s kids, 80s kids know that what is Mahabharata and Ramayana, because these two were played on television. Just if you go back to Corona times, this Mahabharata, Ramayana were played on national DD national television. So now today's generation also know about these epics. And it was being, the most TRP rated epics which are being shown. So this is for especially the Hindus. It's Mahabharata and Ramayana are very, very much poised. So I'll tell you about what happened in these stories. So I'll tell you first. Let me take you to the place where this Mahabharata happened. It's Hastinapur. Hastinapur is the capital of Kuru. Hastinapur is the capital of Kuru, and the fight is about the Singhasan, about the throne, about who is going to win, who is going to take over, or who is going to do the ruling. So Kauravas and Pandavas, the war was between Kaurav and Pandava. Kauravas were around 100, and the Pandavas were around 5. And in this Kuru area, Hastinapur was the capital. In order to get the Hastinapur, that was the fight of Kuru for Hastinapur. HP is Hastinapur. And this was a story which unfolded. It has very twist and turn. Many things happen. We have Draupadi also. We have Krishna also. So many people are here. Shakuni Mama. So it was written 1500 years back. Mahabharata and the Puranas. It's assumed, right? It's written. It is supposed to be compiled by Maharshi Vyas, who wrote Mahabharata and Puranas. Was written by Maharshi Vyas. Okay. The Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. Actually, you can say that the Bhagavad Gita is included in the Mahabharata. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It's a part of Mahabharata. Okay. Now, Mahabharata is the longest epic in world literature with 100,020 line stanzas, first composed about it's go way back around 5,000 years ago. And coming to Ramayana, see, Ramayana is about these three characters. It's about Ram. It's about Lakshman and about Sita. Lakshman is Ram's brother and Sita is Ram's wife. So what happens here? We have Sita, we have Ram, Bhagwan Ram, and because of the family reason, because the stepmother of Ram forced Dashrath to tell Ram to go to forest because she wanted her kid to take over. So it's a vanvas. Vanvas is going to forest, exile, vanvas. Now all these things is happening here. Kosala is the whole area. Ayodhya, as we know, the capital is Ayodhya. Kosala we are talking about. So Kosala's prince Rajkumar was Ram, and his father says that okay, go to exile, and Ram is Purushottam, he is Bhagwan. Actually, he just goes without saying anything, go to exile. But there is a villain in this picture. Ravan is the villain, is the antagonist, and he captures because Sita was very beautiful, and Ravan abduct her to Lanka and take it to Lanka. So it was all about the fight between Ram, and then comes Hanuman, and then there is a fight, and ultimately Ram and his subordinates win. They win. Okay. And then when they come back after winning, it's Diwali. That's why we celebrate Diwali in India. In Sanskrit, it's being written by Maharshi Valmiki. It's being written by Maharshi Valmiki. Now these were happening, but at that time the normal people, ordinary people, everyone wants happiness. They would dance, they would write poem, they will do everything which we see today also. But the short stories were called as Jataks. And these Jataks, they were also composed in Panchatantra. So we call it as Panchatantra ki Kahaniya. Panchatantra ki Kahaniya. Right? And these are very, very small stories, but very, very interesting stories. Very interesting stories. So if you go to, say, stupas or Ajanta caves, you will find these Jataks properly being painted or being inscripted or shown. This is what you see in various stupas and Ajanta. So let me tell you a story. It's a very interesting story, and you'll feel for this story. So what happens? There is a lion king. He's a lion king, and he is a lion king, a Bandar, who is a king, Raja, Bandar Raja. Now he has around 80,000 followers, means 80 monkeys, they follow him. Now there is a mango tree, special mango tree, and it has special mangoes, very, taste well. It's so good that, cannot be comprehended. All these 80,000, they also eat them. Now one time one of the mango falls in river Ganga, and goes by floating to Banaras. Go to Banaras. This is Ganga Nadi, Ganga River. Now there was a king who was taking bath in Ganga River, and he happened to come across this mango. He eats it and he likes it. It was so good. So he asked his courtiers where this mango has come from. And when they go and they find that in Himalayas, they see that this tree, and when they eat, they feel very good. But in the evening time, they see that these monkeys are taking fun of these mangoes, and they didn't like it. So what they say, okay, king orders, kill all these 80,000 followers and the king. But that time, the Lion King decides, no, I am the king. I have to save. I have to do something for my. So this is how he manages himself. And in 80,000, see these monkeys, they cross the river so that they can be saved from being killed. Okay, but it took lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and finally he got drained, physically drained, and then he just dies. He dies. Okay, Lion King dies. And after this is being seen by the king, that okay, I ordered killing, but this Lion King has actually done which any king could have done, right? Then the Raja or the king who ordered, he just give him all full respect, and he actually cries for this Lion King whom he ordered to be killed, right? So these are the various inscriptions you will see in different stupas. You will find this story which is actually depicting this all scenario here. Now, at this time, the science, the medicine, various discoveries, invention also took place. That is, we have various intelligent, intellect, logical people at that time. So I'll talk to you about Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta, and he was a great mathematician and also the astronomer. He was mathematician and astronomer also. See, he talked about different aspects. He was a genius. So he wrote a book in Sanskrit that is called as Aryabhatiyam. The book is called Aryabhatiyam. And along with this, he told the world that the earth rotate on its axis. That means day and night is because of rotation. Sometimes you see eclipse. You see the moon sometime not. All these eclipses, he gave the scientific explanation of eclipses. Okay. This Aryabhatta sir has given us. Along with this, we have pi. Pi is being given by Aryabhatta. A circle circumference is 2 pi r, its area is pi r square. Okay. So this pi is given by whom? Aryabhatta. Okay. So he is a genius. That's why we are talking about him. Along with this, we have big names. Varahamihir, Indian sage who predicted this discovery, water discovery on Mars 1500 years ago. Then we have Brahmagupta, was one of the first and greatest Indian mathematician of his era. He was born in Brahmagupta, actually he was born in Bhilamala, and that is now called as Bheenmal. Bhaskaracharya. He was also a well-known genius at that time. And Zero, Zero, who has given world zero? Our country, India has given zero, special symbol in mathematics, used in mathematics, to the world. India has given us, or everyone. Coming to medical science, I said Ayurveda. So he is Maharshi Charak. So Charak, he's a doctor at that time, Vaidya, and he wrote a special book called as Charak Sanhita, and that book was still is so valid about Ayurveda. If you read Ayurveda, you know all these things. And he wrote on medicine. When you come to the surgeons, at that time we had Susruta. Okay, Susrut. It's a tongue twister actually. Sushrut. He is called Sushrut. And he wrote Sushrut Sanhita. And it was about the surgical procedures. Now, as I told you that China has given us a lot. They have given us silk, they have given us the Great Wall of China, everything, the Chow Mein. But they have given us paper also. Kai Lun, he invented paper. How he actually invented the idea of making the paper, or the technique. So he would use bark of tree, cloth, raw fiber, just crush them, press them, drain them, dry them to form a pulp, and that would create a paper. So paper invented by Kai Lun. Then this went to Korea, then Japan, then Baghdad, and then to Europe, Africa. In India, this came to subcontinent from Baghdad. Do you know Baghdad? Baghdad is the capital of Iraq. Saddam Hussein, if you remember, right? So we are going to discuss about Qutub Minar, but this is not, we have already discussed about, so I'll take it in a different video. Okay, well, then thank you so much. Take care of yourself.